Just drive it out.
If you want to, you're going to start it.
They can still see it's still together. Yeah, so this my father bought this bakkie about 7 years ago, and yeah, it was first green, so it had a normal aspirated for A15 in. He ran good times with it. We ran a 14.1 with it, got a nice set of gen-based throttles and everything. Then we was sitting, I also had a little red Datsun with a pushrod engine in, but that one was turbocharged. So we came to a point, I ran 10.3 207 with that one. So you came to a point to say, okay, now let's just do something different. I'm going to sell the red Datsun and then take that money and put it in this Maverick to get it running again. So we took out the pushrod motor. I think it was in 2018 I brought in a stroker kit before we took this motor out, actually the pushrod motor. I brought in a stroker kit from Australia. We fit a stroker kit, we start building the engine, we send a car to Sloten. So I don't know if you know Sloten race cars.
Yes.
100%, yes. So there's the one building the falling suspension for us, and they painted the bakkie. So it was just the shell. So the bakkie was green, and bakkie went to them, and I cut everything open, put a forelink in. They also put this firewall in. You'll see it's a flat firewall. So they made a sheet, put it in there. It's not like the factory one. And then our aim was actually just to make it a nice street bakkie. So that was the first thing. We want to go like 8.9 seconds, and then just like a street bakkie. So that was our aim. So we actually had a DCT gearbox in first, just to run it in the streets. And we went to Midway, but the DCT gearbox didn't last, and we just said, oh well, we're here now, just put a proper gearbox in and let's get it started. So we fit the gearbox in, bought the Liberty gearbox by Mo.
So you still got to hit the clutch when you shift?
No. So I'm just pulling away with the clutch, and you see there's the gates. So this is first, second, then it's sliding off to third, fourth, fifth. So it got a spring, so you see the spring is spring loaded. So you just go put it in first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Let's get a shot of this Liberty, the most famous drag box.
Yeah, if you don't want any problems, you put this box.
Liberty.
So my aim was actually to go to the track to do a 8.9. So I would say when we go into the 8s, we was really actually happy to go to the 8s. I mean, you know more or less when you have an 8 mile time what you're going to do on the 400 meter, but you must first lie it down to have the time. So there at Midway, when we ran the times, when you can see on the 8 mile was
5.32 seconds again.
And we said, no, if we run 8.9, first time out on the 400 meter, we will be happy. So we went there, Marius helped us tune the car that time, everything. So we went there, first time out, first run, we went 8.6. The next Dalton meeting, I went out, I ran, first run off the trailer, I ran 8.3. Second event. So we went to the third Dalton meeting, I ran 8.0. When we came back, we ran a 7.78, yeah. Fourth event. Yeah. And now was the fifth event with the bakkie, I went 7.70. So each time we went out to the 400 meter, we progressed. So yeah, so I think it was lekker.
Here we go.
Yeah, boy.
Ricardo Engelbrecht.
Go boy. Go boy. 770 at 279. Ricardo Engelbrecht.
I started drag racing some quite time ago. It was like by Black Rock Raceway, just down here by us. So my father built me a go-kart with some nitros on it. Yeah, that's also, I think it was like 85 kilometers an hour on the 400.
Let's go back. You said your father put you in a go-kart with nitrous.
Yeah. I think I was about 8-9 years old. Yeah.
So you were using nitrous.
Yeah, so actually he just had a micro switch at the bottom of the accelerator pedal. So it was just here by Black Rock. So yeah, but the gas bottle was at the back of the go-kart. So you make some brackets there, fit the gas bottle there. Yeah, make some passes. Then we had also a blue bakkie. It was they call it the Midas bakkie. It was Midas stickers on the side. So it also had one of these engines in. That bakkie I ran at Cape Town a 10.3 at 228, just with a normal gearbox. So we sold that bakkie, and then I had the GX with the pushrod motor with the turbocharged one on. I ran 10.3 207 with that, and then we sold that. My father bought this one and he was playing around with this one. He also drove the Midas bakkie. So yeah, but I would like to, I mean, he was also in the drag racing industry, so I don't know what to do, if we're still going to take this engine or we build a new engine for the new car, what we're going to do. But I would like that my father can drive this bakkie, maybe say go one meeting and just say, we can just even like take out some of the boost and they can just get used to it, to go also like a, I think he will also like to go like a driver 8.6 or 8 something in the 8s. I think he will be very happy.
How cool is it to have your dad there doing all this with you?
Yeah, yes, I think it's, our relationship is just next level. It is, we do things together. If I tell him, listen, we need to do this on the bakkie, I can just tell him, he can, after work he will be doing this, what we love to do. So yeah, and we also have one of my other friends is Leon. He's always with us. You will see he's the guy adjusting our wheelie bar and stuff and show me on the line. So he's always helping us. So we are good friends. So yeah, we're working as a team together. So
Is your wife with you as well?
yes. Yeah, she's always by my side. I mean, she do the camera work, everything, and always when I struggle with something, she's more into the internet than me to check what's going on, why did this happen, what. So No, I really loved her, so she's always on the side of me. So.
Seven, 6.
This is a little Nissan CA18. It came like 1800 cc. We stroked it up to 1900 cc. There's a set of CP pistons in, and like I said, there's a set of powder rods in. It's a custom cams what we have in the 80 solid lifter. We made it solid lifter. Put bigger head studs in to clamp the head down to the block. The block is full of epoxy. We don't run water in the block, so yeah. Yeah, the whole block is full of epoxy, so we don't run any water through the block. Just make the sleeves and stuff much stronger, and it's also more safe. I think for the drag racing side, it can't really blow a gasket or something, and it can't go water out of the block onto the ground and stuff. So I think it's also more of a safe reason to run epoxy inside the block. Yeah.
What size turbo do you have?
So that turbo is actually now too small for this bakkie. So yeah, there I told in the last meeting, I saw we make the boost pressure more and the exit speed stays the same. So I saw the turbo is spinning way faster than it should spin, so it's actually just pumping hot air at the moment. So when at the moment I already sold this turbo 2 weeks ago, so I'm waiting for the other turbo to come. Also got a 9-inch diff in. We got a Pro Gears ring and pinion, and also strange pinion support and yoke in. So yeah, chrome molly prop shaft. Yeah, so we had a lot of work into the suspension. The bakkie was always going really to the right side. So we had a 4-link suspension in, so you need to adjust the 4 links, get everything straightened up. So as soon as you go away, the bakkie goes straight. Remember, there's also some weight distribution and everything, so we have scales to put it on we have some scales, so we put a car on the scales, see where the weight and stuff is. So with the 4-link bar you can adjust the diff up and down, so you put more pressure on the one side and on the other side, so that makes you steer the car when it's going away. Not steer, but if you put more pressure, it will go more to one direction than to the other direction. So this is how you make the car steer, because the thing is, when you leave the line, the front wheels is in the air, you don't have steering. So the initial heat must be exactly squared up, and the bakkie must be 100% straight for it to go straight, because there's no steering. Yes, especially I think when you only like from second gear you have steering. So sometimes I see in the past the bakkie goes and then it starts going to the right, but then my wheels is already like this, but we are still in the air. So as soon as you heat, then it's doing this. Yeah, and it's quite dangerous. So yeah, to get a bakkie up straight, running straight is quite it's a thing, yeah. So yeah, we ran our best 60 foot at Dalton yesterday. Not yesterday, or Saturday, yeah. So we ran a 113 60 feet. That's really a good 60 feet.
Oh boy.
Why'd you name it Maverick?
Yeah, actually coming off the movie, so we was actually sitting and watching the movie and said, yes, we need a name for this bakkie and this team, and said, why we just name it Maverick? So yeah, it actually came just from the movie Maverick. So
That's
yeah,
Top Gun.
yes, the Top Gun movie. Yeah.
So you think you jumping in a go-kart at like 8 or 9 years was a solid foundation for you to handle a machine like this? Because obviously not any other
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, you see, yeah, the thing is, you must have, for the sport, you must have passions, and also you must understand what everything is going about. Remember, it's a dangerous sport we are in. So I mean, we're going like 280 kilometers an hour. Anything can happen. So yeah, we're preparing quite good. Every time before we go to the racetrack, we do a complete bolt check. All the bolts from the front of the bakkie to the rear, we check everything, because yeah, things that go wrong can be, especially at that speed, yeah, it can kill you very easily. So yeah, we normally after every run we torque the wheels again, check everything, make sure something doesn't come loose or something.
You know this shit.
Hey, Richard.
So when you were coming up, who were the influential big names in drag racing in South
Yeah.
Africa that you looked to and you said, you know what, this is the type of race that I want to do?
Yes. So the big guys is like Richard Jordan. They was also there at the track. Yes, I was looking up at that guy. He was one of the guys always, yes, if you're at a track and that bakkie's at a track, yes, you just get some flippin' like hoendervleis. Yeah, he was one of the guys. Uncle Leon also, because Leon also deploy. Yeah, I mean this guys is very old in the drag racing industry. So yeah, quite looking up to them. Who else is there? Even that Sabi Coetzee, he was driving that you know, that red Datsun that was there at Dalton now, that Douglas, yeah. So he bought it most from Sabi Coetzee. That was also a looker for me, yeah. That time he also had a Ford V6 in that little GX. But yeah, this is some of the icons in my life.
So from watching these people and getting goosebumps to seeing Richard Jordan's van, now you're in the same league as them, competing with them. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, well, I can say it's a dream came true, eh? It's a dream came true. Like sitting there next to the track and think also, will you ever also run 7 seconds in your life? Like I said, we built this bakkie, it was actually just a street bakkie. So we never ended up to pushing the limit so far. It was just if we could have just drive it in the street and go to the track and do a 8-9, we was happy with that. So it is quite yeah, it was a dream came true, eh? It's a dream came true. So we won't stop, we will still maybe, we still need, I think we still need horsepower after the 200 meter. Because I was checking Leon's 200 meter times. We are very, very close to his times on the 200 meter. But from there on, his bakkie accelerate very, very hard from the 200 meter up. Yeah, we like 10, 11 k's slower than him.
Oh boy. boy.
We need more horsepower there, but I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy. I mean, from where we started, we 5 meetings down. Every time we progress. So yeah, no, I'm happy. Like this is for power, then switch the fuel tank and stuff on. And remember, this bakkie was on the driving on the street, so when you press the light, you'll see the back lights going on, even the front lights. That's the lights. The indicators are still working on this bakkie, left and right. And this at the moment is this pump for the charge cooler. And this, and I got sometimes if I want to put a fan on, I can put a fan on, but the fan is putting on by the fuel tank itself. But say for instance I want to put a fan on, then I just press it and the fan can goes on.
So that's not for neutral then, right? That's for fan.
Yes, that's why I said I still need to change the buttons, just the icons. You can just take it out and change the icons itself. Like I told my father yesterday, this bakkie, this is the same set of pistons than we started this bakkie with. Even every dyno ran, every 200 meter ran, every 400 meter, this is the same set of pistons we're still using. So I think the fueling, everything is good. So yeah, I was thinking, there's methanol fuel we're running, yeah. Full methanol, yeah.
The injectors?
Yeah, so we have, they call it fuel tank injectors. It's 520 pounds, so it's 5200 cc at 90 psi. That's how they measure it. Yeah, so we're running on about 3.5 bar base fuel pressure. So if you work it out, it should be about 3800, 4000 cc. Yeah.
What is your favorite part about this whole build is?
My favorite part. Well, maybe the favorite part is it's still a Nissan with a Nissan. So most of the guys have Toyotas in, most of the guys have Mazdas in, this and this. So we kept to the Nissan family. So it's Nissan body with a Nissan engine. So yeah, that is quite still nice for us. Yeah.
The body is flippin' clean. You can eat off it. You think you're a bit pedantic in how clean and just tidy you keep your vehicle. Yeah. The vehicle is tidy. Whatever we do we do it neat. Everything we weld up together and stuff. We take it to Brett. He's the guy doing the welding and stuff. He got done such a nice work on this bakkie. I mean, all the welding and everything, well, most of the welding he has done, and the fabrication and stuff on like boost pipes and that kind of stuff. And he's also a typical guy that I think he is one of the best guys in South Africa that do fabrication works, the welding and stuff. You must go see his place. His work is just phenomenal. But he called himself TPS Welding. Yes, well, Saturday's event was really, I think the passion that goes in there. You can see all the spectators, everyone that came. You can see that the drag racing is growing a bit again, because in the past I was thinking drag racing is going a bit down in the country, especially after COVID. It was hard to pick everything up, and drag racing is expensive. I mean, so after the event now on Saturday, you can see I think there was like 6,000 spectators or stuff. It was really a phenomenal event. So I think that will boost the drag racing in South Africa again, because yeah, it was very nice, especially the running order, how they was running the cars, and even the UTE challenge. I mean, they ran the jet car twice. I mean, to run that jet car is costing a lot of money. So now I think that after this event, the drag racing will jump up again. So yeah, so lastly, I just wanna thank everyone that is involved in the build, the process, and the progress of the bakkie. Just want to thank first Cherise, my wife, and then my father, and Leon is also always next to me. Also want to thank you for excellent performance. They do all the clutches, flywheels. That is what they do. They do cut and joints on the gearboxes and everything. That is Leon. That is what he is doing. And TPS welding, that is Brett. He's doing all the fabrication and the welding work and stuff for me. And yeah, then I want to also thank RL Service Center. If it wasn't for them, I could have afforded to build all this stuff. So just thank you for RL Service Center for always contributing and sponsoring. Yeah, so thank you for everyone. We hope to go faster in the future. We're already fast, but we want to go faster as always. So yeah, thanks for everyone.